Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Toby.
And I'm Heidi.
And here we have Jason Pizzino, one of our favorite traders. Actually, it is our favorite trader. So welcome to the show, Jason.
Thanks. Maybe that's because I'm the only trader you know.
No, I think we have one more, right?
We have friends.
Oh, at least I'm the favorite.
So right now we're talking about coins that are potentially going to make all-time highs in the future. So let's get into it. What do you think, Heidi?
All right.
Yeah. What's on your radar, Jason?
Yeah.
Radar, let's dive straight into it. I like the no nonsense approach. We'll dive straight in, and I've got DOT first up. I don't think this comes as any surprise to at least your followers and the guys that watch my channel as well. We like DOT. And I'll make mention that I often look at these cryptos against their BTC value as well.
Yep.
So I think that's really important to make sure that if you are going to risk your capital, you probably want it to at least beat Bitcoin. Otherwise, what's the point of risking your capital? You could be in something safer like Bitcoin. So I'll always do a check of the Bitcoin chart. Make sure that Bitcoin chart is going up, finding some support, some good volume coming in, and we can see the support on 50% as well. And we've done another video on the channel just looking at reasons for this, like support and resistance, breakouts. So that's kind of the reason that we'll be looking at a lot of these cryptos. A lot of people tend to look at the fundamentals. You know, there's parachain auctions coming up. You guys know all about the fundamentals, but I tend to just look at the chart. So that's what we'll focus on today. And most people look at the USD chart, and we can see the USD price is nearly back at old all-time highs. And if this run continues like this, with the uptrend, I definitely think we're probably going to get somewhere around at least that $53 just to repeat this range here that we see from the July low. So basically, that's the range there. And if I use a nice clean tool, that all I'm saying really is that I want to see that repeat from that low. So you can see like a nice low was put in, and then this is the target up here, 100% of that range there. If the ranges extend, then I want to see it come out to about 125%, and that's a good sign for another range, like another leg of the move. And it could correct, maybe it comes back to the old all-time high, maybe a little lower, maybe it doesn't go that far. So I'll find some low, and then what I would do is use this bar again and then draw it out to get my next target. So those targets could be anywhere up in the future. We just need to see where this comes in next. And that's why I don't tend to just sell at exact target points. I want to see how the market reacts. It gives me some idea. Yep, if we continue up, we get to our 53 to 61. It's strong. Let's wait for the correction, and then we see where it's going to end up for the next leg. So if the legs start to get shorter, the moves up, then that obviously means there are less buyers and more sellers at that point. And you probably think, well, maybe my luck's coming to the end. But at the moment, DOT looks like it's in that sort of mid stage now. We've done a first leg. It looks like we're in this next leg. So we don't know what's going to happen in the black spaces with all of the cryptos. So we just have to start to plan for what might come. The best scenario, maybe the worst case scenario, and then maybe some scenario that happens in between. Everyone wants this exact price, but it's just not how it works. So DOT is a big one for me. And like I said, BTC looks okay too. Another one on our list, we'll look at Aave, but we'll look at ADA as well. Let's look at Aave. And the BTC chart doesn't look as good. It's been breaking down. You can see the difference here. And DeFi seem to have had its run through the 2020 and sort of peaked out in August, but Aave kept going and the rest of the space died off. So maybe Aave will come around first again. It lasted a little longer than everything else. And the only goodness here, so this is a bit more of a higher risk because we haven't really seen the trend reversal, but some guys who look at charts, they might see like a mini, very rough, inverted head and shoulders, and that's usually a bearish sign. And maybe it just wants to start breaking out of that zone there. It's very rough, but it could be the first signs at the moment. And the way I would play that then is if it started to break down, rolled over, broke beneath those lows, and you go, well, I was wrong. I didn't risk that much in the trade, and I can move on to the next thing. Looking at Aave USD, it's just going sideways at the moment. and we want to see it break above these 50% levels. And that leads me on to ADA, which I think will get to a new all-time high eventually, but at the moment it's still got this trend to finish and then break out of. Maybe we hit around that 160 to 180. So that's its zone here. You can see there's some support and resistance there, and again back down here. So if it did do a little bit of a dip and come back into our stronger zone above the $2.10, then start to make its way. I'm just thinking about what could happen next, because ADA's already gone on multiple runs and it seems like it needs some time to rest and recover, like it's done plenty of times before it makes the next move. So it's just stepping its way out of these periods after being so excited. But on the BTC chart, it's looking very weak. It's lost a lot of value against BTC at this point, but it had gone on a pretty big run from December 2020. So it gained a lot of value against Bitcoin, and it's only natural that you start to have some corrections. That's 3 of them so far. I think these will all make all-time highs. Definitely DOT's probably the highest on the list there. ADA next, and then in terms of a DeFi play, Aave, not so strong yet. It needs to get above 360, but I mention it because it might be very, very early on. But of course, the lower you are down, the higher risk it is. Oh yeah, let's have a look at Matic, because that's starting to break to recent highs again. So that's a good sign. Again, using all the same analysis that we're looking at, breaker support and resistance. Some people will be looking at this as a double top, but we've got higher lows. So it's kind of like wedging at this point, ascending. So that's a good sign, and it's starting to break higher. Get above that $1.80. It's probably where you want to see it consolidate and then move to new all-time highs. So that's around that 270. I don't think it's going to get there in one day like it's done in the past, but it's at least putting in higher lows. You definitely want to see higher lows on the way up. That's an uptrend. Matic BTC, it's trying. It's definitely trying, and it's going past 2,900 Satoshis, 2,900 Satoshis. That's good. That's back in the strong half of this 50% level, so that's a good thing. And GRT is one that I look at with my group a lot. It's finally starting to make its move here. There's a low. Well, you can see there's a higher low as well. So low, higher low, next higher low, next higher low, next higher low. So the uptrend is here, and we're getting faster moves to the upside. So that's a good thing. Above the $1.10 is probably the safer entry, but then obviously it's a higher price. What are you going to do? But then again, I look at GRT, BTC chart, and it has broken back above all of the previous support, which it broke down, found a little higher low, and then broke back above. So this is in the early stages, but looks stronger than Aave BTC, so Aave in general. I think just looking at that, comparing only those two, I would have to put some money on GRT compared with Aave.
Sure.
Oh, look at that. All right. The shit perp has come up and it's broken. We got an alert. We got an alert on the channel. So this one is on FTX exchange, and it shows all of the shitcoin index. It's the shitcoin index, and it has all of the shitcoins there. Not all of the 12,000, but they have a selection which you can find on their website.
Sure.
And as this goes up, then you can say, well, we're probably going into some sort of mini alt season, and alts are going to start to move because the index is telling us it's on an uptrend and it's starting to break out. So that's where I had my alert just at the tops of both of these, 7,222, I say 7,200. So, it started to break those tops into 7,300. So it looks like we'll probably get a little bit of a move with the altcoins as well, which of course we've already seen some of it, but we have to see the start from some of those stronger players, and then it sort of bleeds over into some of the other cryptos. So the players that move first are the stronger ones, and usually the weaker will move later. But the mindset of, I don't know, influencers, because that's what new investors want, not us, of course, but that's what new investors want, is that they'll say, all of these coins have moved. Who's going to go next? These ones have to go next because all altcoins do. But that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
The first ones move first because they're stronger. The fastest horse that leaves the gates is going to win. That's why it leaves the gates first. Doesn't leave the gates last and then tries to play catch up and takes over. Of course, there is the odd one that can do that, but
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't always happen. You want to swing the odds in your favor.
Good.
So that's a lot of talking from me. You guys
No,
got any questions?
No, I think actually the fact that this alert came up at the end is perfect. Perfect timing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So also I want to remind you guys that we did a video just before this with Jason talking about things that he's looking for the top of these different charts, indications of, you know, what to look out for. And so for those of you who are in these altcoins and you see them doing what you're doing, always reference back to that video to determine, you know, maybe when to take profits, when to adjust your stop losses if you have any. And
yeah, that's one of the hardest things, is to, you know, start taking money off near the top of the market if you feel like it's the top of the market, because I mean, greed's going to catch up to you, and you're going to want to hold on
just a little bit more.
You know, I felt that in 2017, 2018. I'm like, oh, this could go out forever, but I think I should probably take some profit.
Yeah. Look at it go.
Yeah.
So basic mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. It's important.
Anyway,
I think if you take some off, that, I mean, not financial advice, all that sort of stuff. The way I like to play it is take some off the table so that I'm not emotionally attached to it. I've got some of my money back that I already put in, and then I can let the rest ride. So if it goes up another 10x, great. If it drops 50%, oh, well, I've still made some profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And thank goodness you took profit.
Yeah.
Great. Well, yeah, thank you for all the insight. And I mean, most of the coins that we went over today are in our portfolio anyway. So happy to hear that news.
And if you like this video, like it, subscribe, and also check out Jason's video, YouTube channel. And
YouTube
the link is down below. And yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
All right, bye-bye.